Today we are going to be talking about mixing kick and bass.
If you want this, get this right. Just say you love
This is one of the most important parts of the mixing process, because if you get that low end right and you get the kick and the bass working together, that is the solid foundation for an absolutely cracking track. If you get that wrong, everything else is going to be weak, because that, as I said, is the foundation of your track. So I made a video on this a couple of years ago, which you can check out here, and I wanted to share with you a way to balance the kick and the bass more in levels than anything else as quickly as possible. Now this is actually a tip that I learned from Graham Cochran at recordingrevolution.com, so thanks Graham for that. Without further ado, let's hop into the door and get it done. Okay, so the thing to remember is that we are trying to get the kick and the bass balanced with each other, not everything else. And when we've got those two things balanced together, we can bring the volume up or bring the volume down as needed with all the other elements. So first, what we are going to do is we're going to go to our master channel, and I'm going to load in this MV meter, which is a VU meter, and it's completely free. It's by TB Pro Audio. I've put the link below this video so you can just download it for free. And the thing about a VU meter is it measures average volume, not peak volume. And most of the software that you get, like Logic X and Ableton Live, they will show the peak volume. Ableton 10 actually does show the average volume too, but you can see it more accurately if you download this free VU meter. So minus 12 dB on your normal dBFS meter is the equivalent to 0 dB on the VU meter. Now you don't need to worry too much about what that means and why that's the case, but what we are going to do is basically get our kick drum hitting at -3 on the VU meter, and then we are going to add our bass until it's hitting 0 on the VU meter. And that means that the kick and the bass will be a nice balance of equal volumes. So let's give it a go. We are just going to solo our kick drum. And we can see here it's, let's see, hitting -3. Again, it's an average thing, doesn't have to be that accurate, but that's actually perfect. So now we just need to bring our bass line in. I'm just going to turn off this top bass because it's not really part of the bass line. And then we want that master channel VU meter to be hitting 0 on the VU meter. And it's not quite, so what we can do is we can just bring the bass up in volume slightly. And now it's hitting about 0 on the VU meter. A bit over sometimes, a bit below other times, but now this mix between kick and bass is pretty good. So that's with everything else playing as well. So it's very quick, and that is how you can match your kick and your bass. Now, there is one other thing that I would like to cover. So that's your 30 seconds, bosh, done. If your kick and your bass are not matching the volume of everything else, or in the process of doing this exercise, you've had to bring the volume of the kick and the bass right down, and they're not matching with everything else, all the other tracks in your song, then if you do increase the volume, make sure that you select both the kick and the bass, and then you move them up or down together. And that means that relative balance will remain the same. If you're sending them to a kick and bass bus, again, the same would apply. You'll be adjusting the volume so the bass and the kick relative level stays the same. So there you have it, guys, a really quick tip for how you can balance your kick and your bass, get it punching through your mix quickly. Remember to check out my other video, which goes into a lot more depth on things like compression, bus processing, things like that. So definitely check that out. And until next time, thanks for subscribing, cheers, and happy producing.